Last week we discussed the sine, cosine, and tangent ratios. This week we're going to be continuing with trig functions, looking at the other three ratios, which are cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So the way that we actually find these is they're actually just the reciprocals of these functions that we've already looked at. So cosecant, we abbreviate that by CSC. That is the reciprocal of the sine function. So sine was opposite over hypotenuse. If we take the reciprocal of that, we get hypotenuse over opposite. Secant is the next one we're doing. We abbreviate that by SEC, and that is going to be the reciprocal of the cosine function. Cosine's adjacent over hypotenuse, so secant is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. And the last one that we want to look at is tangent we have. So we're going to look at cotangent. Cotangent we abbreviate COT. That's the reciprocal of tangent, so that is going to be adjacent over opposite. So the first thing you want to do when you're solving for one of these ratios is just label your triangle, just like we did last week. So let's go down into an example here. We have this triangle here, triangle GHI, and we have that the measure of angle I is 90 degrees, so it's a right angle, which we can see in the picture. Line segment IH is 84, line segment GI measures 13, and segment HG measures 85. And we want to know what ratio represents the tangent of angle H. So we're looking over here at angle H. First thing we need to do is figure out what is the hypotenuse, the adjacent, and the opposite. So last week when we were doing this, we were only using that lower right-hand corner, that angle down there. This is a different angle. We haven't done it from this direction yet. So to label the hypotenuse, it's still going to be the side that's across from the right angle. So that 85, because it's across from the right angle I. Because we're looking at angle H for this problem, opposite is the line that's right across from angle H, so that's going to be down here. 13 is our opposite, and that means that 84, the one that we have left, is our adjacent. And we're looking for the tangent of angle H. So tangent of angle H. If we remember, tangent equals the opposite over the adjacent. So we need to look at what our opposite is. So look in our picture, we labeled 13 as the opposite. So that's going to be 13 over 84. And the last thing you would want to do is just look and see if you can reduce your fraction, which we cannot. So the tangent of angle H equals 13 over 84. That's the ratio representing that. Next problem, we have triangle STU here. We have that angle U is the right angle, and we have side SU is 55, UT is 48, and TS is 73. So that TS, that is our hypotenuse, because it's the one that's right across from the right angle, going across like that. We are looking at angle S for this problem, so we're back down here. So the side that's opposite from angle S is 48, so that's our opposite, because it's directly across from that angle. And then our adjacent is that 55. So we are looking for the cosecant of angle S. So cosecant of angle S. Oops, so that should say S, sorry. And let's go scroll back up to see what we defined cosecant as. Cosecant is hypotenuse divided by opposite. So we need hypotenuse over opposite. We said that our hypotenuse is 73, and our opposite is 48. So our answer for this is going to be 73 over 48. You can't reduce that fraction, so that is going to be our ratio representing the cosecant of angle S. Let's do one last problem. We have triangle PQR. We have that the measure of angle R is 90 degrees, that's our right angle. QP measures 73, that's our hypotenuse, it's across from the right angle. RQ is 55 and PR is 48. And we're looking at angle Q. We want to find the secant of angle Q. Got to start by labeling all our sides. We've already labeled our hypotenuse. 48 is the side that's across from angle Q, so that's our opposite. And so 55 has to be our adjacent. And we're looking for the secant of angle Q. And we define secant as hypotenuse over adjacent. So we said our hypotenuse is 73, our adjacent is 55. We can't reduce that fraction at all. So the secant of angle Q is represented by 73 over 55.